You're gonna think I'm a real prick for saying this, but I got 250,000 views on my 6th ever video on my new channel, and I really wish I hadn't. So settle down, buckle up, grab yourself a coffee, and listen to my tale. A tale of how 250,000 views on a channel with only 3,000 subscribers was one of the worst things that has happened to me. If you didn't know, I got tired of the grind on Twitch last year and stepped away to reset my growth, focusing more on YouTube. I also wanted to just follow the things I love, which is Pokemon and Nintendo. I'd made about 5 videos and the growth was steady. I was learning a lot. And on the release of the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I wanted to do something I personally love doing. Pick a dumb, memeable Pokemon from that generation, catch hundreds of them, nickname them stupid things, and then trade hundreds of them randomly using the feature Surprise Trade. This means when I traded the Pokemon out, I would have no idea what I'd be getting back. But the fun of it comes from trading a pig named Booty Lover 69 to someone randomly on the other side of the planet. I figured it was a fun video, so I went for it, not expecting much, as the channel was pretty young. As I said, my channel at the time had something like 3,000 subscribers, and my videos were just doing okay, averaging 500 to 1,000 views. If I'm being honest, I didn't do anything special with this video. I followed the same structure I had for previous videos, similar jokes, similar style, all of it was exactly the same. But this video surpassed all of my content in a matter of hours, and within 30 days, it had 220,000 views. The question, of course, is why did this happen? And more importantly, can I do it again? Well, let's answer why first, because it has multiple factors. First, the video was around 25 minutes long, and early on, it had a 55% retention rate, which is really solid for a video of that length. It had this retention because I told the story in a really engaging way, starting with me trying to catch all the Pokemon, failing terribly, so I decided to try breed the Pokemon, failing terribly, but pushing through anyway. Then it was hatching hundreds of them, and new issues would evolve from that. And then it was struggling to trade them all, but eventually, despite all of these things coming up, I succeeded. You see, the reason the story was engaging was because it had obstacles to overcome, which makes it worth watching. Second, I think the idea was different, and that's what made it fun. Sure, people had done trading videos like this before, but people hadn't done it in Scarlet and Violet yet. The game had only been out for 2 weeks. That's right, the game came out on the 18th of November, and I released this video in full December 3rd, 15 days after release. While everyone was still doing the story and editing big supercuts, I released this dumb but fun idea. And because the game was so new, the traffic around it was massive. Everyone in the fandom wanted to check it out. And because of how big the traffic around the game was, and the idea being different, I was getting huge impressions. YouTube was showing the video to 100,000 people every day, and I had about an 8% click-through rate, which isn't amazing, but also isn't terrible, especially when you realize that's about 8,000 people clicking for every 100,000 who see the thumbnail. This all sounds amazing, right? Well, it was at first, but as it went on, I realized maybe this was terrible. You see, I have watched this Lechonk video hundreds of times. I've timed the cuts I did. I've timed my intro. I have tracked every single possible thing I did in this video. Essentially, I've broken down everything I can and completely understand what is going on in it. And thanks to all of that research, I can confidently say, I have no idea why it worked. Well, that's not quite true. The only thing I can confidently say is the game had just released and I was early, and that's why the video blew up. And that's also why none of my following ones I released could measure up. In short, while this virality was cool, the issue is I didn't learn much from it. At least nothing that I didn't already know, which is incredibly frustrating because for the following videos, I was following all the same rules, all the same concepts I did for that one. And honestly, now I really struggle to get long form videos out because it feels like none of them will perform as well as that one single video did. And this feeling makes me hesitate. I and I ah. I struggle so much more with imposter syndrome now. The massive early success has completely broken my consistency. I've only released 8 videos since then, and it has been months because I can't stop hesitating. I'm hesitant because I don't want to be let down by not reaching that wild level I had before. I've done hundreds of shorts and gotten millions of views since then, But on long form videos, they're just not hitting that same mark. Some have had amazing retention, some have had amazing impressions, but I can't measure up to that one single spark of success. And that is so shitty. It's okay though, because I am far enough away now that I can see the way forward. And really it is to simply keep releasing videos. I need to become more consistent again, work harder, and focus on improving where I can. Every video I try to improve just one thing, and thanks to that goal, I can see slow, steady improvements. It's just hard to keep pushing when things aren't performing as well as I've seen. But I will say, I'm really proud of my latest video. It's done really well, probably the best since the original Lechonk one, and I think it's because I put so much time into it. It feels like a unique concept. It's interesting to click, and most importantly, I had heaps of fun making it. That said, I think there are 5 things to take away from this experience. Number 1, do not wish for virality. You learn very little from fast views. Instead, focus on slow growth. Think long-term growth over years when it comes to YouTube. It's harder because there is very little reward early on, but the success lasts longer and is more rewarding. Number 2, keep pushing. Keep uploading and keep improving. It's demoralizing to not reach the views you want, so set a goal that you can control, which is self-improvement. Set a goal of being a better creator every time you upload. Number 3, you really do have to love creating, because that's what keeps you going. There is no point making videos about things you aren't passionate about. Number 4, shorts are so amazing for learning skills and building an audience. But you really need both. I think without long form, your shorts views are far less valuable. So balance both and don't let one become your entire focus. And number 5, find a group of people all working to improve together. I wish I had more friends in the Nintendo and Pokemon niche with the work ethic I do. And I wish I had friends with way more experience, so I could just say, hey, give me the honest truth. Does this suck? Or I can look at their video and say, hey, how'd you do that? Because sometimes it's hard. It does feel like I'm going it alone without people to turn to, or people to watch who can give me specific actionable feedback. That's why in this video about YouTube Shorts, I try to be a bit brutal and a bit honest with you guys about why you're not succeeding, because I think you need that, or else you get stuck never improving. So click this if you want to get millions of views on your shorts and actually start growing. Sorry if I'm a bit blunt in it.